Yo, what's up, warriors? This is Keita with Psychopath Exposure, and today we are out here in nature. I'm so happy to be out here with a good friend of mine that came out, wanted to take a little stroll down a peaceful park, and I just got inspired to talk about how one finds their peace after being discarded by a psychopath narcissist. Because after that discard, we are left in a ball of destruction, and everything that we've built up to that point has just been stripped away, like someone just pulled the rug on us and we don't know what the hell's going on. We went from having everything we wanted in a partner, from believing that we had found our soulmate, to realizing that we were dating the devil. And that left us with a ball of anxiety in the pit of our gut. It left us with all sorts of trauma, all sorts of panic, and we felt that we could never trust again. So how does one find their peace when the world all of a sudden seems dark and gloomy and evil and wicked? Well, let me tell you, I found my peace. It wasn't easy. It didn't come overnight. But the peace I found is a peace like no other. And when I tap into that space, I realize more than ever that I was put on this planet to accomplish a lot more. And what that psychopath made me believe during those dark times was all a lie. It was all part of her plan to destroy me and to extract me of all the positive energy and the life source that she lacked. But after this experience, it forced me to reach out into the world, to humble myself and ask for help, and to allow the universe to bring into my life the right people that I actually needed to fulfill my purpose. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the torment that I went through with a psychopath narcissist. And you know what? Just being out here in front of this lake, I'm actually surrounded by ducks, and they're not afraid. They're actually hanging out here. This is something that while I was in that relationship, there is no way that I would have even thought about doing. This monster was just sucking the life out of me. All I wanted to do was please her and say the right things to make sure, or I thought I was making sure, was gonna let her tell me the right things that would continue releasing the dopamine hits that I used to get during the love bombing stage. So I'm gonna share with you guys the 3 things that I started practicing on a daily basis that helped me reach that peaceful state of mind that I never thought I would be able to tap into again. Yes, we're gonna be talking about meditation, but I gotta make something clear. I've always been an avid meditator, but after the psychopath trauma, it actually became very hard to meditate because my brain created anchors with meditation and doom. Because I used to meditate a lot during that relationship, during the end of that relationship. I used to meditate a lot to calm myself down, to let the universe guide me. But the dark spell was so crazy, overwhelming that I just couldn't get my mind still. So sometimes to this day, sitting and meditating is not easy. But I have to remember that the reason I meditate, the only reason that I meditate is to train myself to let go of thoughts that are taking me back to that dark place. It's training myself to be able to catch those thoughts, those unwanted thoughts that I dwell on, and that all of a sudden trigger anxiety that otherwise wouldn't be triggered. I could be going on about my day, hanging around with cool people, doing productive things, and if I allow a stupid thought to creep in and I let myself dwell on it, I can be back in hell in 2 seconds. That's the power of thought. So we meditate in order to train ourselves to catch those thoughts and be like, oh, wait a second, I'm thinking. That's just a thought. Nothing's happening. I'm safe. I'm with good people. I'm healthy. I'm taking care of myself. That's just a thought. Let it go. Let's get back to the present. The second thing that I started doing to help me find that peace after the psychopathic discard was to treat myself well. That includes fitness, exercise, nutrition, and monitoring the videos that I watch. In the past, before I dated a psychopath, I used to love listening to all crazy music and nah, that's not true, I still do. In the past, before I dated a psychopath, I could watch all sorts of horror movies and I was desensitized to it. But now I see it and I see the toxicity, and it makes me realize whoever's producing these movies most likely is either a psychopath or they've been through some traumatic shit where all these ideas are spawning from somewhere. So if I want to be at my optimal performance levels, I can't be watching movies like this at night before bed. I can't allow negative vibrations to surround me like I used to in the past. So following a poor diet only hurts me. So I'm always aware that I'm putting good food into my body, healthy foods. And of course, exercise is very important. Getting the body to move, getting the blood flowing is very important. After the discard with the narcissist, I remember I had a friend of mine tell me, hey man, as soon as you wake up, drop and do 100 push-ups because it's gonna get blood flowing right into your brain. And you know what? I said, fuck it, let's go. And every morning I started doing 100 push-ups. And I was like, wow. As soon as I was done, I was like, yo, I feel great, because before I would just lay in bed and I just wanted to hide under the sheets. I just wanted that day, I never wanted the day to start. I was absorbed in the anxiety and the panic. So getting the blood flowing was very important. So exercise, nutrition, and monitoring the things that I would put into my head on a daily basis was very important. And finally, the third thing that I did that helped me establish peace and find the peace after the narcissistic discard was to not be afraid to reach out to good friends and just call to say hello. Just call to see how they're doing. It's not about me anymore. It's about giving back. You know, sometimes that phone gets so heavy and we just have to pick up the phone and call someone, not text. Text is so disconnected, and text creates anxiety. But picking up the phone, just calling a good friend goes a long way. It goes a long way to feeling connected with a human being that actually cares about you. And you can bounce ideas, talk about your feelings, what's going on. You can make plans, get together. Because the narcissist makes sure that when they drop you, when they discard you, when they crush you, you're left with no friends because they pushed all your friends and family away. They make sure they do it at a time where you're going to be completely lonely and isolated. So it's very important that we make that first step to reach out for the people that are going to be our supporting cast. So once again, number one, meditation. Meditation is going to help you catch those thoughts that are triggering anxiety, that are making you think of the past. So you got to make some time to meditate every day. And meditation doesn't just have to be sitting for 20 minutes in the morning or at night. You can meditate at any time of the day. Just be aware of the thoughts that are going on. Whenever you feel yourself triggered, just stop for a second, take a deep breath, and make yourself aware of what thoughts you're dwelling at that moment. And just have the discipline to cut it, to cut that thought. Be like, hey, this is just a thought. I'm not going to think about this right now. Just right now, I'm going to get back to the moment. And I'll do another in-depth video about meditation, because this is not explaining how it really works. But for those of you that are already familiar with the practice, I'm urging you to get back into it. Really get back into it, because it makes a big difference. Number two is just monitoring what you're putting into your body, whether it's food, whether it's watching toxic movies, making sure you get that exercise to get the blood flowing. Very important to take care of yourself. Number two is to treat yourself well. We've been victims for too long, and it doesn't pay off to keep beating ourselves with a bat. The psychopath already did that, literally and figuratively. And number three is to reach out to your loved ones. Don't be afraid to reach out. Make that first call. Make the first call. It goes a long way. You know how good it feels when someone that you care about makes that first attempt and calls you, especially when you're going through some sick shit like a psychopath discard. So don't be afraid to take that first step. And it's only a matter of time till you'll find your peace again. Once that psychopath and narcissist is completely out of your life. It's a blessing that the psychopath is out of your life. Your life is going to start getting better. You're going to be able to manifest everything you always wanted now that this demon, this dark energy, this dark influence is out of your mind. So thanks for stopping by today. I hope you guys are feeling awesome. Let me know anything that you guys have been doing during your dark times after the discard. How have you been coping? How have you been coping with all this? What have you been doing to get your head back together? You know, we're here to share the love. We're here to share the wisdom. We're here to learn something new every day. So I'm curious if you guys have any strategies that worked for you, because this is a lifelong trauma. Leave a like on the video if this brought you any value, and don't forget to subscribe. Together we're going to get through this, I promise. This is Keita with Psychopath Exposure. See you guys next time.